What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are looking at the Orly Spring 2022 collection, which is called Impressions. So we've got 6 polishes to go over today. They are once again a rainbow of cream finishes and they're all inspired by the Impressionist era. So just to take a step back, if you haven't heard of Orly before, they are a mainstream nail polish brand that is vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients. They are cruelty free, meaning they do not test their polishes on animals, and they're also listed as being formulated without harmful chemicals. I always like to remind you guys in my Orly reviews, they also have a giant nail polish bottle coming in at 18 milliliters, so significantly larger than the average bottle. You definitely get a lot for your money. They also have a rubberized cap and they have a wide flat brush with a rounded tip. So first I'll show you the swatches, then we'll talk a little bit more about pricing, availability, my thoughts on the collection. So let's just dive in and roll the footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am going to be using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I am using the Orly Bonder base coat, one of my absolute favorites. So we'll just go in rainbow order here. This first color is called Parks and Parasols, and this one's actually a really interesting shade, especially for starting the rainbow. It's more of a brown with pinky undertones to it. I think it actually ended up looking a lot warmer on me than it looked in the bottle. You can see a lot more of that pinky coral color, whereas in the bottle it definitely looks more distinctly brown to me. But either way, it's a really pretty color. It feels like a nice neutral slash nude kind of shade, a very soft, subtle manicure to wear, and I think it would really suit any skin tone. But I just love the way that it looked on me. I think that nice mix of my warm undertones and this somewhat cooler color just works really well and feels very soft and delicate. Next up we have the shade Dance With Me, and this one is a very light pastel pinky orange cream shade. You can definitely see it has this very peachy tone to it, and when I first started applying it I was thinking this was definitely going to be a 3-coater. Super light shades like this always seem to take 3 coats even on my short nails, but I was actually really impressed with the opacity here. It ended up giving me full coverage in 2, but of course, like I said, I do have short nails, so you might need a third if you've got longer. But again, just a really pretty shade. It feels like a very soft, almost nudie kind of color, but just really pretty on the nails, and I think this would be a really nice base for nail art. Next up we have the shade Golden Afternoon, and I was really excited about this one. It's a nice, slightly dusty yellow, but it also has a little bit of an orangey coloring to it, so it really does feel gold. I think it showed up a little bit more yellow on camera than it looked in real life. I would say there's definitely a little bit of a warm orangey undertone to it, but again, I was just really impressed with the opacity here. Yellow polishes almost always require 3 coats on me, and I was able to get full coverage in 2. Now, I did show you guys what a 3rd coat looked like just because I figure in case I couldn't see anything in real life that maybe showed up on camera, I would just cover my bases, but I really think it looked perfect in 2 coats even on camera, so was definitely impressed with that. And again, just a really pretty color. It feels a little bit more saturated than the average yellow spring color, so I was really excited to see that in the collection. Next up we have the shade Artist's Garden, and this one's a really soft green pastel cream shade, and again, just a really pretty color. It does feel a little bit more saturated than the average spring green shade, and you're gonna notice that I feel like that's kind of a theme going on in this collection here. I just feel like even though they are pretty dusty, they just feel a touch more vibrant than what I'm used to, and for that I really did love them. This one did give me really nice coverage in 2 coats, but it was just barely there, so if you have long nails you'll probably need a 3rd for this one. Next up we have the shade Blue Iris, and oh my goodness, what a stunning color. I absolutely love this shade. It's a super soft blue that almost has a little bit of a periwinkle vibe to it. It's still very distinctly blue, but I feel like there's just a hint of purple in there as well, and what an incredible formula. Super smooth, super self-leveling. It was pretty much there in the 1st coat, but of course I did do a 2nd just to show you what that looked like. But it is such a beautiful and intense shade. Again, a little bit more vibrant than I was expecting, and just so gorgeous on the nail. I think it's such a beautiful shade. And last but not least, we have the shade Province at Dusk, which is actually the color that I was the most excited for. Probably no surprise to most of you because you know I love purple, but this is a really beautiful, soft lavender cream that has a pretty cool undertone to it. In the first coat, it looks a little bit warmer. That's just because I have warm undertones and you can see through to the nail. But in that second coat, I was able to get a little bit more of that cool tone. And again, really nice formula. All of these were super creamy and easy to work with, and they just leveled out on the nails so nicely. Of course, I always recommend using top coat, but I feel like these are just super glossy and even on the nails, even without top coat. So here are all of the shades together, and overall, I think they're just so pretty together. I think this makes such a nice curated set of colors, and I think they're all going to be really great for nail art. I feel like I can almost envision a water marble with these. I haven't water marbled in a really long time, but I think these rainbow sets that Orly does always make me want to do that because they look so pretty together, and I really want to be able to incorporate all of them into nail art together. So I don't know, maybe something I'll try, but I'm a little nervous about it. So those are the polishes, and honestly, I will never get tired of these types of collections from Orly. I just love when they do these sort of rainbow sets that just go so nicely together. Perfect for Skittle manicures where each nail is a different color. They're perfect for nail art, and I just feel like they go together so well. And I'm actually a little bit surprised at myself for enjoying this collection so much, considering it is all pastel finishes. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you might already know that I am not a fan of pastel polishes. I'm also trying really hard to say pastel because people always make fun of me because I pronounce it pastel. So I'm trying my best, don't make fun of me. So definitely surprising that I like this collection, but it's really just such a good formula. The colors are so opaque and creamy and smooth and just really workable, very beginner friendly. I feel like honestly, regardless of the color, I just really enjoy the formula, but I also think that they are a touch brighter than your average pastel polish. I think they just have like a little bit more saturation in there that make them more vivid than the usual dusty kind of finishes we see around this time of year. So I think that also definitely helps. And I also have to say, I just really love that they're inspired by Impressionism. I love reading the inspiration behind a color story or a collection. I think that just makes me see the polishes as more than just those colors. It makes me kind of see the inspo behind them, and it makes me just like relate it to those things. And I'm a big art fan, so I do definitely appreciate that. So overall, I really enjoyed them. I think they were great quality. I think they're great colors. I know not everybody loves the cream finish, but personally, it is my favorite. I know that comes as a surprise to a lot of people. I just love when Orly does these rainbow collections. I feel like every time they've done a rainbow of polishes, I've absolutely loved it. So like I said, these polishes come in 18 milliliter bottles and they retail for $9.50 USD. They are available on the Orly website, or you can also get them from HB Beauty Bar, which is a nail polish retailer that I use very frequently. I do have a discount code there. You can use the code KELLI to get 22% off your order. Also, if you haven't tried the Orly Bonder base coat, I highly recommend it. I just recently told you guys that the Cuccio base coat is in my top 2 base coats. The Orly Bonder base coat is my other favorite. Those two are the base coats that I use probably 90% of the time. They are my absolute favorites. So highly recommend picking up the Orly Bonder if you haven't. And also, if you're getting it from HB Beauty Bar, you may as well pick up the Cuccio base coat while you're at it and then tell me what you like better. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think of these polishes? What do you think of this color story? Which color is your favorite? Which color is your least favorite? Tell me all of it. Leave it in the comments. We can chat. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Rocket Man's daughter, and Paula. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Karen, and Karen wants to know, it's been so cold lately. When you're walking around at home, what is your go-to? Socks, slippers, or bare feet? This is a great question. I feel like my answer lies somewhere in between because I have these slipper socks that I would say I wear like, honestly, not that often, maybe like 60% of the time. I would like to keep my feet warm at all times, and I hate when my feet are cold, but sometimes I just feel like it's so much effort to put on the big slipper socks that I would rather just go barefoot barefoot. I also have slippers, but I almost never wear them just because I feel like they're always slipping off. I feel like I need the kind that have like a front and a back, because the ones that you just slide on, they're just always falling off of me. I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting the right size, but I feel like they're not usually like size. They're usually just like small, medium, large. So maybe that's why. But yes, I'm a slipper sock person, but if I do leave the house, because I don't leave the house every day. But if I do leave the house, obviously I wear socks when I leave the house. So then I'll just keep socks on for the rest of the day. Because once I've got them on, I'm not taking them off. So actually, I would love to know from you guys. What is your preference here? Are you a sock person, a slipper person, a barefoot person, or are you a hybrid like me who likes a slipper sock? Let me know in the comments. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!